Okay, folks. Looks like we're getting a speedy start to 2022 because we're getting a second season of Rank Battle Mode for next week. I thought it was going to be middle of February, and then we're having Black Market for March, but off to a quick start. So it's not a bad thing, but for this video, we'll do a quick recap of the 114 SP2, which is not a new tank. We already covered it like 8 or 9 months ago during my hiatus or before my hiatus, and they did not buff it or nerf it, so it's practically the same. So we'll do a quick recap. We'll take a look at the bond shop and the rank battle mode shop, if you call it that, and then I'll talk about the best reward tank that you should absolutely get if you want to stomp face. It's better than a chieftain hybrid, it's better than an object 726 or 279 early as you know it. So what that tank is, stay tuned and find out. But let's take a look at the 114 SP2. So they have a video about it. It's all floof and fluff for like 8 minutes. I took a look but did not show most of the stats, so we'll do a quick recap. But I've already made a video about it, so you can watch that. That was added like April or something. Do you have a date for this thing? There's no date stamp, do you? April 22nd. Wonderful. April 22nd. No, we're not watching that. So basically, the SP2 114 is like a Grill 15, but better. So it's like a sniper IS-7, if you will, or IS-4. It has no armor, but it has a powerful gun. So it's a sniping medium tank, and I do tend to enjoy sniping tank destroyers at tier 10. It is big though, but as you can see with the stats comparison, it doesn't have the alpha as the Grill 15, but a lot better turret traverse dispersion factor. The Grill 15, if you turn the gun blooms like crazy and you have to wait until it's fully aimed. So snapshotting is a horrible idea on the Grill 15. 0.12 compared to 0.4, that is crazy. And still better moving and tank traverse for the dispersion factors. So I'll gladly have this than the accuracy of 0.26 compared to 0.31. 0.31 is already good enough. And 1.9 seconds of aim time is good enough too compared to 1.4. But this thing is dramatically better on the SP2 114. So no question about it. It does have less horsepower per ton ratio, and yeah, effective top speed is a little bit harder, a little bit worse, I guess. So it's not as fast, but you're not prone to artillery shells compared the Grill 15 to this vehicle. So yeah, it's Grill 15 is a meme, I guess. It's not that good of a tank destroyer, in my honest opinion. I still prefer the Waffenträger Panzer IV. I play it often, as well as the Romtel Borsig. The Grill 15 is just bleh. Just because of the turret traverse bloom on the gun dispersion, that thing is horrendous. So yeah, this thing, and it doesn't have the penetration too. So bleh, I guess. I mean, 270 millimeters of pen for a tier 10 tank destroyer is below average. You should have about 290 or 300. So such a big caliber gun, but only a tier 8 penetration or tier 9 penetration. But yeah, this thing is more stealthy compared to a Grill 15 for some reason. Alright, guess the structure or something, but more accurate, more resistant to high explosives because it's 75 and 135 for the armor. Yeah, I guess this thing should be better than a Grill 15. Somehow. I mean, it's a bigger of a target, bigger of a silhouette, but it's more stealthy. Like a stealthy fat ninja or something, I guess. Still garbage armor, but it's a lot better than artillery, against artillery, than the 30 or 20 that's on Grill 15. So overall, it's not a bad reward tank. It by all means has no armor. It has to snipe, but originally for my old rating, I give it a 7.75 out of 10, which is not bad, But on the new scale, which I introduced this year, from 0 to 10, with 5 being average, I would still give it like a 6.5 out of 10. It's above average, but by all means, it's not OP. It does have a lot of DPM, but it's glass cannon in a sense. It's a lot better than the FV4005 in the sense of a glass cannon where you don't get pinned by artillery shells into your turret and you lose like most of your HP, like 1000 HP gone, and most of your crew are knocked out. That's not fun. So this thing is more resistant to artillery shells, which is a plus. It has the DPM and the gun accuracy. So not a bad tank. 6.5 out of 10, maybe 7. Maybe 7 out of 10. But that's enough about the SP2 114. We talked a lot about this vehicle, so god damn, the old JPEG is awful. So, old video, but that's before my hiatus, which I took a break after the high explosion nerf. Pissed me off right away. So let's skip on ahead, but 7 degrees of gun depression, also not bad. Penetration is alright, alpha is alright, but DPM is high. And it's a special tank, so it doesn't need a crew, so that's always also a plus. They changed to APCR. Since when? It doesn't have APCR as gold shell. Actually it does. Never mind, I'm stupid. I thought it was just another AP round. It's APCR. Okay, 329. Yeah, I get it. It's okay. Just still aim for weak spots and you'll likely pin. 329 is nothing to laugh at also. Alright. But has no armor, yada yada. They don't explain jack. Concealment is... where the hell do you get 16.8% from? It's 13 something percent. It's 13.9. You can't even keep your own stats straight. Whatever. Alright, fine, whatever. Some percent. It's good, but it's not as STRV good. So, here. Where's the comparison? I mean, it's not as good as a 113 GFT in terms of camo. Yep, it's not as good as a 113. Or the Object 268 with the fixed mounted guns. Compare this to something like a E4. Better camo. Better camo than the Grill 15 for some reason. Alright. About the same camo as a Foch 155 or Foch B. I think Foch B has the same camo. Should have. But obviously better camo than the FE4005 or the Jagdpanzer E100. The Jagdpanzer E100 has better camo than the FE4005. This thing is a matchbox. It's a piñata. You get spotted right away, and you get high explosive into your artillery into your turret, and you're not having a good time. And plus, you can't even hit stuff after the nerf to high explosive and does 0 damage. Why would you even play this thing? But obviously, it doesn't have the camo as the STRV, so blah. So, alright, enough about that. Enough about the 114 SP2. So, I guess it's okay. I'll give it 6.5 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Because I like sniping tank destroyer. Alright, enough about that. Enough about that. Let's take a look at the Bond shop and the new styles in the rank battle mode shop. So there's a new style for the Kpf.Pz 50T, which is not bad looking, but I'll show you guys the model. So let's head on over to the rank battle mode shop. Now I would recommend you waiting until black market is finished for this year to save your bonds for the potential offers in black market. So you can always buy stuff from the rank battle mode shop by heading over to rank battle mode and clicking on the bond looking icon. You can always buy these vehicles. There's no limit. There's no time limit to buy them. But just wait. Wait until black market is over and then you can buy it if you want. But why the hell would you ever want a Charlemagne? It's like a T-34, but even worse since you have no penetration of 220 compared to 250 on the T-34. And this thing has 500 meters per second shell velocity, which is god awful. So let's go back to Charlemagne. God. I don't know if this is worse or if the Caliban's worse. But as you can see here, 597 meters per second shell velocity with only 220 millimeters of pin. You have to be really close to your targets to hit, unless you're using gold shell. Gold shell is another AP round, but has better shell velocity. That's practically it. But on the T-34, you're getting about 300 millimeters of pin with the gold shell. So why waste like a bunch of bonds for this thing? Without the discount, it's 15,000 bonds. With the discount, it's around like 12,000, 11,000. But still, that's gross. None of that crap. None of this crap. Shikoda T45, gross. It's like a tier 7 version of a heavy tank TVPVTU, which is giving me like Vietnam flashbacks of garbage. No, thank you. Tier 7 TVPVTU. No, thanks. No, thanks. Oh, God. No, 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 no. Why? Why do you do this to yourself? I mean, it's like a Tiger 1, but you don't have the DPM. That's practically it. And you don't even have the health, too. No. So, not worthwhile. The style for the T100 LT, not bad. It's like the new style in a sense for the ST2 in terms of no camo, but it does look pretty nice. So still 10,000 bonds without discount is pretty hefty. It's down to 7,000 bonds with the discount, but that's still pretty hefty though. 7,000 is pretty steep. You get also the Roman style with the projectile. So yeah, it's alright, but it's not as high as the T100 in a sense. It's more glamorous because you have the Roman inspired is that a trebuchet? That's not a trebuchet. That's a I forgot the name. Ballista. That's the word, or just a crossbow if you want. It's a ballista, or it's a crossbow. Whatever the hell. For a commander, even though you don't need it, you could have a machine gun, but it's more of a cosmetic in a sense. It's more of a ceremony tank style. Still not worth 10,000 bonds in my honest opinion, but hey. You can also get the previous Concept 1B or Kpf.Pz 50T, but you should already have these vehicles, so you also get a discount. But there's also the style for the Kpf.Pz 50T, so we'll take a look. But Kpf.Pz is a medium. There it is. And let's take a look at the style. So Kpf.Pz 50T style with the Garmer, whatever you call it. I should turn that on though. Where is the Kpf.Pz? I thought I turned it on. I'm new to the... There it is. New to the mod. I'm sorry. But it kind of looks like a rock golem or something. Looks very much like a mobile game. Or like a fantasy nerd-esque of a rock skin. It does look nice on the website when they showed it off, I guess. It looks pretty nice. And when the rotation and stuff, it looks like a Warcraft thing too, right? Yeah, not bad, I guess. I mean, look at the rocks and they move and stuff. It's very obviously non-historical since it doesn't exist in real life, but wait, it actually glows when you run it? Wait, whoa. Let me look at the drive wheels and the rollers. These glow into red when you're running. These are not glowing. That is pretty neat. If it glows when you're actually running the tank, that is pretty sweet. Oh, not bad. Not a bad skin when you think about it. It glows. You see that? It glows red. Do I have a different style to show me the wheels that they're glowing? That's not glowing. That's not glowing. That's not glowing. Come on, show me the wheels when you're running. That's somewhat glowing. I mean, it is a very artificial and, you know, whatever aspect of a skin. It doesn't matter, but I like it. I like effective skin, like skins that have idle animations or special animations when you run it. Always promoted something of a cosmetic addition to World of Tanks, where you can separate your tank out of other tanks. But yeah, Wargaming never listened, or they listened, but they never sell the 3D skins. So you can see that's glowing. Alright, we're spending way too much on this skin. It's only 5,000 bonds. Not bad. And with the discount, it's about like 2,000 bonds. So still wait for the black market. But alright, not a bad thing for the rank battle mode shop if you want. And we got an item shop boost, or bond shop boost to the items. So go to the bond shop by entering store and click on the bonds. There are new selections already. Nice. I did not buy the Sinlac from the last revision. That was like August or September of last year. Mostly because 8,000 bonds is not worth for a light tank. A light tank costs about 6,000 gold. A heavy tank or a medium tank usually costs about 10,000 gold. There's a dramatic difference, but the bonds are the same. So for this time around, I still think the T34-3 is a good choice. STRV-81 is the Swedish Centurion, but the 5-1 is better than the STRV-81 because the 5-1 has more horsepower and better hull armor and better DPM too. So yeah, kinda power crap on that aspect, but let's see. 5-1 compared to, where's Centurion 5-1 compared to STRV-81. There it is. It has slightly better horsepower per time ratio, not as fast shell velocity. Oh, it's not using APCR round, but normalization and better hull armor. 120 compared to 76. And it costs less. It costs only 6,500 gold. So you should have definitely taken up the Advent calendar offer of 5-1s in the past. I don't think it was offered this year, but it was offered in the years prior, which I got mine. It's been a workhorse for like front lines and credit making stuff, but definitely not a bad tank. But it's still alright for the STRV-81. It's like a Centurion, I guess, without the hull armor. Well, tier 8 Centurion, not the tier 9 Centurion. You also get the Sinlac and the Tiger 131, which is still not bad for bonds, but 5,000 bonds is a little bit steep. I think it should be like 4,000, 3,000, maybe so. 8,000 bonds a lot for a light tank, maybe 5,000 bonds. But then again, wait until black market is over, then you can buy all the stuff. So just wait. They also added styles, dress for success, so you can buy the bundle of the first time around. So it includes all the skins, but sometimes you already have the skin, it just doesn't name it. For example, the Ice Shelf skin is the same as the Gamescom skin for like 2018 or something, or 2017, one of the which, I think it was 2018, but it just doesn't have the logo. But if you want to buy the skin, I recommend the pink one, the Into the Space one. This one's very futuristic and, you know, sci-fi-esque. So really like this one. The doggo, the Doge, you gotta have the Doge. But this time around, you get the moon viewing, which is average compared to the sci-fi one. So the glitter speck or the puke vision thingy, not bad, I guess. What the hell's a rat rod? Not bad. Italian camouflage pattern. All vehicles. All right, well. Make sure it's suitable for all vehicles then. And the kangaroo one, that's cute. It's a different. Well, it has different patterns for different seasons instead of the regular just one pattern. So yeah, just hold off on buying stuff for Bond Shop, but not bad. I do like constant revisions and updates to Bond Shop as well as Rank Battle Mode Shop to give you more stuff to buy. So that's always a plus. But let's talk about the best vehicle, the best reward tank that you should try to get. It's better than the Chieftain T95/Chieftain. It's better than Object 279 early or 726. And what that tank is, after playing all this time from the Holiday Ops and from earlier, a little bit earlier, is this vehicle. And why do I say this tank is better than any of the other reward tanks? Well, it's at tier 9. It is the Concept 1B. You're supposed to have it last year for Rank Battle Mode, but if you missed out, I do highly recommend you trying to get enough bonds to buy this thing. It's better than the Kpf.Pz 50T. It is intimidating. It is very bouncy in terms of the turret, as well as having side armor. It is fast. I have it up to 20 horsepower per ton ratio without a turbo booster or turbocharger, whatever the hell you call it. But that is insane. So just as fast in terms of mobility as a Chrysler K, but I have about 50 kilometers per hour top speed. So this is practically a main battle tank. It has the armor, it has the DPM. Gun accuracy and dispersion I can deal with that. Especially with a good crew, with my Chuck's crew. Here's Chuck. It's 2.29 seconds of aim time, 1.33 accuracy. Not bad DPM, 2,800. Dispersion factor is being buffed, and mobility is pretty high. It's quick to turn the hull, okay-ish to turn the turret, but it has armor for the side armor for the front. It can't hold down, yada yada. Yeah, this thing is intimidating. And yes, Sam, this vehicle cannot compare to a Chieftain. I get it. Yeah, Chieftain is better in terms of stats. But you have to remember, this is at tier 9. Chieftain is at tier 10. Tier 10s have a weird matchmaking algorithm. Because tier 10s will face other tier 10s in all tier 10 battles. So you have more, I guess, unfavorable matchup where you have to fight grand battles if you have that turned on. So grand battles, you can turn that off, but most of the time, you'll fight grand battles with all tier 10s, which is not fun. So you cannot face stump. You have to fight other tier 10s because the matchmaking generally puts you into all tier 10 matches than facing tier 8s. If there's no other tier 10s, then you'll fight other tier 8s, sure. But for tier 9s, you will face tier 7s more frequently than tier 10s facing tier 8s. That's a fact. I can guarantee that. Because whenever I play tier 10s, I've been playing for about, let's say, I think it has been introduced recently, but for the last, let's say 5,000 games or 10,000 games, I've been feeling that whenever you're playing a tier 10, if there's enough tier 10 players, you will all be put into a match. And it's not against like tier 8s, it's just all tier 10s. But when you're playing tier 9s, you will sometimes not be put into all tier 9 matches. You will be put into tier 7 against tier 7s against tier 8s. And this thing is devastating against a tier 7. Imagine fighting this thing in a Tiger 1. You will cry your eyes out. Fighting this thing in like a freaking, I don't know, like we just saw with the T-34M 85, you will cry. You'll just give up and just jump into a river or something. So this is the best reward tank, in my honest opinion. Yes, its stat performance is not as good as a tier 10, as an Object 279 or Chieftain, but it's not as hard to get, in a sense. You only have to get enough bonds, and it's at tier 9 against tier 7s. So you have more time to stomp on the tomatoes than playing with a chieftain or playing with a object 279 early. Also, you could use this in front lines to stomp like the tomatoes too. So you cannot drive a tier 10 into a frontline game unless they introduce it. You cannot even use it for ranked battle mode too. You can only use it for randoms, and that's it now. So special tanks at tier 10 got nerfed, like the M60 in a sense. You cannot use it anywhere else. You can only use it in random pub matches. You cannot even use it in ranked anymore. So there's so many ways for the Concept 1B to just stomp tomatoes, and I highly recommend you try the rank battle mode for the bonds. If you cannot, then try to save the bonds to just buy it outright from the rank battle mode shop. But this thing is a beast. Well, there you go, folks. A quick recap of the stuff. There's a lot of, it's a very extensive recap, I guess. So I'll put the timestamps, but the 114 SP2 is, I'll put it 7 out of 10. So I play sniping tank destroyers. I do like a good effective one that has accuracy and decent enough armor, I guess, against high explosive, and doesn't have the Grill 15's god awful turret traverse dispersion factor. So yeah, 7 out of 10. It's alright. It's a little bit above average. If this thing has armor, then hell, obviously it'll get a better score. But if you're going for field modifications, go for suspension durability so you don't get detract as often. Go for, well, I would say having better accuracy. So reduce the, or increase the aim time, but reduce the accuracy, or reduce the dispersion factor for the accuracy. God. Ejector tuning, this is useless. You don't need camouflage after shooting. Just use the view range buff. It's like 2.28% compared to 2.15. There's no difference. So use the view range buff. Use the survivability slot because vents, obviously. You can have reload time or dispersion time, dispersion size. I would say better DPM. Accuracy is good enough. A little bit decrease in terms of accuracy is not that bad. So yeah, more DPM. And engine power or aim speed. Engine power. Aim speed is already good enough. So put on rammer, put on vents, put a, you could put turbocharger or put optics. I think optics is a little bit better. Yeah, optics will jump by 40 meters of view range. So there you go. Not a bad DPM too. So reload's pretty quick for a 650 alpha. That's pretty quick. And if all else fails, fire gold rounds. So 7 out of 10. Definitely not bad. But as a rank battle mode reward, it's no comparison to this thing. Definitely no comparison. This thing is like a 8.5, 9 out of 10. It might be even 9.5 out of 10 now I think about it. It's just so goddamn oppressive of a heavy tank. It is so effective at chewing through tier 7s and tier 8s and sometimes tier 9s. It is intimidating. But there you go, folks. A quick recap on the rank battle mode that's coming soon, as well as the updates to the bond shop. So hopefully I did not bore you. If I'm going too slow, increase the speed of the video to like 1.5% or 1.5x or something. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.